What's up with everybody? It's your man, Moria B.
And Nicole.
And we're back and with some more reaction videos. Baby. So yeah, man, this is another special video request from Flint, man.
Yeah, another one from Flint.
Yeah, he wants to check out the channel Exurb 1A.
Same channel.
Yeah, the video was pretty good. The last one we did was definitely dope. It was funny and it was entertaining.
Yeah, it was totally funny.
So the name of this video is We're the Last Humans Left. The last one. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see how he's gonna talk about it.
Yeah, no, I'm really curious to see where he's going to take this one.
Yeah, but we'd like to say thank you for your support, and we're going to dive right into it.
Our species probably began about 200,000 years ago, and judging by the fucking state of us, I think we can all agree it was a terrible idea. We are called Homo sapiens, but we were not the first human-like creatures on the planet, however. Homo habilis were making tools about 2 million years ago, Homo heidelbergensis were building shelters about 700,000 years ago, Neanderthals were probably just as brainy as us. They wore jewelry, maybe buried their dead, and always passed the joint to the left. There were at least 15 other human species we know about, and now they are all gone. The last 3 surviving species of human were Neanderthals, who probably died out about 30,000 years ago, Homo floresiensis, who disappeared about 12,000 years ago, and us, Homo sapiens, aka bipedal bastards. And if you hadn't noticed, we are still here.
Yeah.
So where be them other hominids? Yo, Neanderthals, for example. Neanderthals were probably stronger than us, a bit taller, with a rather different skull, and a bigger brain. Then why are they gone? You see, old Gary Neanderthal might have been a smarty pants, but we had a secret weapon, which is mouthy word noises. Speech is fine for dissing and cussing, but it lets you do other stuff, like organize. This allows you to, as the evolutionary biologists put it, fuck shit up! Neanderthals were hanging about in Europe doing crochet, cracking open cold ones, until around 45,000 years ago, when us sapiens turned up coming from East Africa. And within 5,000 years of meeting us, they were gone. All of them. Combine that with the fact that we can make big wordy noises, were socially complex, and probably had domesticated doggos at some point for help, and we were a force to be reckoned with. So that was that. We were bumming around for a while as hunter-gatherers, the land was often barren, the climate was often hostile, death lurked everywhere, so Portsmouth, basically. But it really wasn't all bad. We think the average work week might have been around 20 to 40 hours. Their diet was probably quite varied. Vegetables, fruit, nuts, insects, borzoi, whatever they could find. And they weren't idiots. Most members of the tribe had to know the core skills of survival. Which berries will make you dead immediately, how to remember the terrain, how to build tools, how to stay alive. They were generalists. They had to be. Anyway, that went on for a few 100,000 years until we got around to developing agriculture, probably about 12,000 years ago. And suddenly, if we don't find food, we'll all die, turned into, if you eat my food, you'll die, then into, I'm full, but I'll eat some more. And then into, I'll have the gluten-free macaroon and the lactose-free avocado shake. Merci beaucoup. And then we went off to build society. How? Scrawny, breakable, generally pathetic, but enough about myself. We are not a formidable species physically, but we can do language. And if you can do language, then you can do myths. And if you can do myths, then you can conquer the world. You will own at least hundreds of thousands of objects in your life, because you believe in a myth called money.
Yeah.
If you give me this paper and the number is right, I will give you stuff. And the myth works because most of us agree to play by the rules. The same applies to universities, governments, nations, whatever it is. It's not that these things are lies, it's just that they're abstractions that only live in our heads. And if you don't have language, you can't do them. You really can't. And if you can't do them, you can't do big societies. Language is probably the gateway to civilization. And now, we own the fucking world. But it's been quite a journey. There is some evidence that around 100,000 years ago the human species bottlenecked to somewhere between 3,000 and 10,000 humans in the entire world.
Wow.
By definition, that made us an endangered species, teetering on the edge
humans
of
only
extinction.
10,000 at the time.
One theory holds that this was thanks to a supervolcano in Lake Toba, Indonesia, possibly bringing in a volcanic winter. And even if that wasn't the cause, disease, strife, famine, ignorance, and hardship weren't occasional visitors to the human condition, they were the human condition for most of our history. But here we are now, a most populated planet. For better or worse, we have arrived. It took 200,000 years to get to our first billion humans, that was in 1804, but then we jumped to 2 billion in 1927, and then 3 billion in 1959, 4 billion in 1974, and finally 7 billion in 2007. And now, we are invincible. We've outsmarted time, we've outsmarted death, we've outsmarted crops and disease and the weather. The state of the human union is strong. What could possibly go wrong now? 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 Possibly go wrong. I met a traveller from an antique land who said two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor weld those passions red, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Homo sapiens, hominid of hominids. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Well, then again. In 1977, a probe was launched into space called Voyager 1. 41 years later, Voyager 1 is travelling away from us at about 38,000 miles an hour and is now 13 billion miles distant. And aboard Voyager is a message from Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States. And the message reads, "This is a present from a small, distant world. A token of our sounds, our science, our images, our music, our thoughts, and our feelings. We are attempting to survive our time so we may live into yours. We hope someday, having solved the problems we face, to join a community of galactic civilizations. This record represents our hope and our determination and our goodwill in a vast and awesome universe." And were we able to include just a few more lines in that message to tell our spacey friends a little more about ourselves and our deep history and our ambitions and our ancestors, just maybe we'd say that, wow, P.S. we think shit went down like this. Life probably began on our planet about 4 billion years ago as simple organic machines. We don't know how yet. Then a sudden explosion of diversity 500 million years ago. 50 million more years and plants are taking the land over. 50 million more and insects have arrived. Next, the dinosaurs are taking the stage. 700 species at least, ruling the planet for around 145 million years before something, possibly asteroid-shaped, wipes them out. But it's okay because here come bats and butterflies, giraffes, bears, hyenas, sloths, vultures, mammoths, turtles! You fucking name it. And then the rise of the primates, and 2 million years ago appear our first true ancestor, Homo habilis, and at least 15 other species of the Homo genus spreading out across the world, until about 200,000 years ago when a new genus, our genus, emerges, Homo sapiens, large-brained organizers, talkers, thinkers, capable of high abstraction, of building tribes and cities and nation-states, capable of ending the world in a day. We have stepped into an age of great technological potency, though there are gaping holes in our wisdom. We've become a global superorganism, though we still harbour our tribal inclinations. We've pulled a bunch of fuck-ups, and we're really quite confused and alone, and frankly scared. But we hope to enjoy the privilege of being a semicolon in history, rather than a full stop. So on behalf of the 150 billion who came before us, and our human cousins who didn't make it, we just hope this message finds you well. And we hope, when you find us, thousands of years from now, that we are well too. In any case, please just write back.
Right back.
It's dark out here.
It's dark out here.
And we're the last humans left.
It's like he's trying to reach.
I like this one. Well, he was saying how like that satellite was sent out, and then there was a message from Jimmy Carter, and he read I think the real message, and then he was just kind of
that's right.
Well, not exactly, but adding to it,
funny,
making it a little more dramatic.
Yeah.
More story.
So I guess he was trying to make it be where like maybe more people can. I mean, send a message out and maybe hope to find other ancient civilizations. Yeah, like what if the satellite, because it might just keep traveling, and what if it all of a sudden
come back, another civilization finds it in space or something, you know?
I kind of wonder how will people respond. The world respond. We find out that we're actually aliens. The aliens actually exist. How will people feel about it?
I think a lot of people would be like, "Oh, I knew there probably was," and then a lot of people would be like, "I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I gotta see it."
Some people would be in fear probably too.
Well,
what are you gonna do?
It would be like. It would be nerve-wracking, so to speak, or like there'd be a lot of anxiety because you don't know what it's going to bring.
Especially got some super advanced technology that really like freak people out.
Yeah.
You know, but I guess if
cool
that actually happened, they try to attack it. I try to attack the planet. I guess the first time you see the whole world combined, unite as one.
What? Oh,
well,
yeah.
Yeah. Everybody sure. Like put their differences aside and unite as one.
Yeah. That is the biggest, like, that's the biggest uniter is the common enemy.
Yeah.
So, because sure.
You have, like, the best scientists, the best military, all of them combined, like,
It would be a super force then. If you got it. I mean, depending on how intelligent
you have to put your pride down aside because, every leader would probably want to do things their way. So everybody had to put this pride down aside and, think about the human race.
It would work, though. A lot of people can come together to do that, so.
Yeah. We definitely enjoyed this video, man. It was a great video. Yeah, man. Thank you for the video request, Flint, man. We definitely enjoyed it. And thank you for your support. Great video, man. Make sure to subscribe to Exurb 1A. If you want to send us a special video request and you want us to check it out, check out the links to our Streamlabs. It's going to be in our description and our video cards. I also provide a link and keep the videos under 12 minutes.
And if you want to support our channel, come be a part of the merch fam. The link is down in the description and in the video cards.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And thumbs it up.
Turn on notifications. It's your man, where you be.
And Nicole.
We're going to catch you in the next one. Stay awesome. Peace and love, baby.